Welcome to Faith Between the Lines. My name is Scott, and this episode is about the spaces we don't often talk about, the grief we carry, the hope we cling to, and the faith that holds us together when life feels broken. This episode is called Never Leave Mad. About 15 years ago, Kathy and I were invited to a 4th of July weekend barbecue at her sister Darlene's house. It was like most 4th of July gatherings. Good food, lots of friends, everyone trying to have a good time, but underneath it all, there was something wasn't right. Darlene and her husband Alan were fighting about something the entire time we were there. Every time they got near each other, you could see the tension. It was in their faces. You could hear it in their voices. Everyone else was laughing, having a good time, and enjoying the day. But those two stayed mad at each other from the moment we arrived until the moment that we left. And after the barbecue, of course, we all went home. At that time, I was a logger, and I owned my own log truck, and I hauled logs. Alan did the same kind of work I did. And the next day, just by chance, we ended up hauling logs on the same job. It's a pretty small community, and everybody just kind of works together, and it's this fairly tight-knit area. What happened next is still hard to talk about. Alan was involved in a horrific truck accident and was killed instantly. No one really knows what happened. His truck rolled over with a load of logs on it, and he was crushed inside the cab. When I got there, there was nothing anybody could do, and I was the second person on the scene. I stayed around for about a half hour, 45 minutes, collecting his personal belongings, took his watch off of his arm. The CHP finally showed up on the scene. An officer told me after I took a short statement from me that we would notify the sheriff department, and they would go to Alan's wife and tell her. And I told them, no, absolutely not. I will do it. I know the family. He's my brother-in-law, and I love the family. I can't let a stranger deliver that kind of news. So I got in the truck, and I drove about 12 or 13 miles from the scene of the accident to the top of the mountain where there was cell service, and I called my wife, Kathy, and I told her what happened. She couldn't believe it, and neither could I. I told her, get up, get out of bed, have a cup of coffee, and think about what you're going to say and what you're going to do. It was 25 minutes after 6 in the morning, and it had just started to get daylight. And I told her, meet me outside of her sister's property. I'll meet you there. We will go in together, and we will tell Darlene together. But of course, when I got there, about 35 minutes later, Kathy had already gotten in there. She was inside the house, and she was telling her sister the news, telling her what had happened. When I got out of the truck, I could hear Darlene's grief and bellowing and wallowing outside the house. And that kind of pain that just kind of shakes the walls and shakes the soul. It was a devastating blow to her. And it was a devastating blow to all of us. Her husband of 39 years was gone in an instant. And the day before at the barbecue, all they had been doing was fighting. Alan was mad at her. She was mad at him. You know how it can be. Words said in frustration. Pride getting in the way. Both people too stubborn to back down. But the last words Darlene ever said to Alan were, "You can go to hell, and I don't care what you do." Those were the words that she carried for the rest of her life. I watched the change in her. The grieving process in Darlene never began because she couldn't forgive herself. When Alan died, a part of her died, and it died with him. She carried that weight for 14 years, a heavy, destructive burden that she never found peace from. And when she passed away, she still carried those last words with her. You know, watching someone you love implode under the weight of regret is one of the hardest things you can ever witness, especially if you love them. We tried to help her. We tried to encourage her, remind her that love is bigger than any one moment of anger. But she couldn't let it go. And that's why this episode is called Never Leave Mad. Because sometimes the last words you speak to somebody become the last word you will ever get to say. When I look back on Darlene and Alan's story, I'm reminded of how fragile our time really is. We walk through our days assuming we'll get another chance, another conversation, another moment to make things right. But life doesn't always work that way. Sometimes the door closes without warning. Sometimes the last words really are the last words. And sometimes the weight of those words become heavier than we could ever imagine. That's why never leaving mad isn't just a saying to me. It's a way of living. It's a way of honoring the people we love. It's a way of choosing peace over pride, even when it hurts. Because, you know, truth is, most of the things we fight about don't even matter in the long run. But the people, they matter. The relationships matter. The love we share matters. And the grace that we have for each other matters most of all. So if there's someone you're at odds with, someone you've been avoiding, someone you've left in anger, maybe today's the day to soften your heart just a little bit. Maybe today's the day to reach out, and maybe today is the day to choose love over being right. It's not because you're weak. It's not because you're giving in. It's because peace is worth more than pride. And because tomorrow isn't promised to any of us. I want to share a little poem with you that I wrote just a few months after the passing of Alan. The name of this poem is When the Last Words Stay. Anger rises fast and bright, a spark that blinds your inner sight. It flares up quick, it burns the air, then leaves a heaviness still there. Pride steps in and takes the lead and feeds the fire and plants the seed. It tells you you're the one who's right, then leaves you restless through the night. Regret moves like a winter stone. The weight you carry is on your own. It settles deep behind your eyes and dims the blue of morning skies. But love speaks soft and steady still, a quiet strength, a gentle will. It waits for hearts to choose its way before the light slips out of the day. For words don't vanish when they're said. They echo long inside your head. They flow us through every door and shape our lives forevermore. So guard the things you choose to say before you turn and walk away. For every breath could be the last, and once it's gone, it's in the past. Let kindness be the final sound before your footsteps leave the ground. Let mercy be the gift you give to those to whom you share to live your life. For when the last words linger on and dawn arrives and find they're gone, you'll want to know you spoke with grace, not anger written on your face. So hold your temper still, your hand. Don't let your heart turn cold or hard, for life can change in just one beat and leave you standing in the street, wishing you had said instead the softer words inside your head. Choose peace before the moment's fled. Choose love before the day is done. Choose gentleness before you part and speak the truth that heals the heart. Because the last words that we leave are the ones our souls believe. And when tomorrow slips away, may love the final word you say. My closing blessing for the show is go in peace as you step into the rest of your day. May peace walk beside you. May gentleness guide your words, and may love steady your heart. If there's someone you're at odds with, may courage rise in you and reach out. If there's a weight you've been carrying, may grace help you set it down. And if you've spoken words you regret, may forgiveness find its way into the places that still hurt. Life is fragile. Life is precious. And the people we love are worth more than any moment of anger. So go in peace today. Go with a softer heart. Go with a clearer mind. And may the last words you speak always be the words you can live with. Thank you for joining me on this episode and spending your time with me on Faith Between the Lines. If today's words touched your heart, remember, you're not alone. Grief visits all of us, but love does too. And faith between the lines of sorrow is where hope lives. Until next time, may you carry compassion in your heart, courage in your spirit, and the faith in the spaces between. I'll meet you back here real soon, and have a happy holiday season.